Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for another Airbrush Asylum quick tips video. Today we are going to test out a cheaper style airbrush, which is this red aluminium looking thing, versus the HP-CS Iwata Eclipse. So price difference, this is probably about 10 times more expensive than this on average. However, we thought we'll just give them a go. I've got some thinned out Trident water-based paint already loaded up in both of them. And we'll just do some dots and lines and see what they perform like. We're painting at around 40 psi and the paint is already thinned out, so pre-thinned. The exact ratio, it'll be a little bit over 1:1 mix, okay? So I just thought this would be interesting, something a bit different to show you guys, because a lot of people that we know, even customers, have always asked regarding the cheaper style airbrushes, especially if they're just, they want to do something just once or a couple of times using the airbrush, maybe just for some weathering effects on their models, or just to spray in some backgrounds on canvases, or yada yada yada. So, and for even our students, some people who want to get some cheaper brushes just to use as background fillers, well, we just want to see how this performs versus something that is more expensive. All right, so obviously this is, you'd hope, is still going to outperform, and I'm sure it does, but from appearance value, this looks pretty nice. The red, cool color. Aluminium body, which is kind of cool, so nice and lightweight, which I don't actually mind. Some people prefer them a bit heavier, so the Iwata is definitely heavier than that. This is probably even lighter than the Segolas, but that's one thing I do like about the Segola airbrushes, is that they are nice and lightweight. You can see the trigger is on an angle, so pointing forward, which is pretty comfortable. It's got the cutaway handle, and it's also got a hole in the back so you can pull your needle right out. I don't know how these would go with parts. As I said, they are a lot cheaper. I will have a look to see if I can find them on Amazon, as we don't sell these as yet, but if and when we do, as a cheaper alternative, we would then sell them only through our website, and that'll be to Australian customers only. But I'll check it out, because this might already be available on Amazon. If it is, I'll pop a link up on our page. I'll put the item on our Amazon page, and then you can feel free to buy it through there, because then we'll get a little affiliate commission, which would be nice. And thanks to everyone that's already been purchasing on that, so we're getting a lot of good feedback, so I appreciate that. Anyone wants to check that out, it is amazon.com/shop/airbrush asylum. I will pop the link in the description below as well. All right, so like I said, definitely it's a lot lighter, being the aluminium body. This is a bit heavier, but overall comfortable. And this runs a 0.3mm needle, this is a 0.35, okay? So let's get into it. We're just gonna do a quick dots and lines and have a bit of a muck around. It's not gonna be like completing an artwork with each and comparing it. I don't wanna go into a full-on review. It's just a quick video this time, just to show you guys something different. Now, I am gonna remove the air cap off this one. You can see the Eclipse, I've already done that. I much prefer to paint without the air cap for a couple of reasons. One, it gives you better line of sight, and secondly, you can also pick off the tip drying off the end of your needle. And it does actually allow for finer detail, okay? So let's start with the Eclipse, and we'll start with some lines. That was me. Went up a bit too close. And we'll do some circles. Some dots. Shade a little bit on the side. Do some heavier lines. and a couple of solid bits there too. Alright, and we'll do a similar thing with the cheaper alternative. Again, they're both double action airbrushes, as you can see, so meaning press down for air, pull back for paint. Alright, so start off with the lines. So you can see it's flowing alright. It's a little bit intermittent. The trigger is pretty smooth. It's giving reasonable consistency. I don't think I can go as fine, that's for sure. More solid. Alright, let's try and go a bit finer. Let's go do fine dots. So it's a bit unpredictable with the real fine stuff. And we are getting, could be a bit of tip drying. We are getting a little bit of a furry edge on our fine lines. But if you wanted to do bolder lines, then it seems to prefer them. It is better than a lot of the cheaper ones that I've tried. It feels a lot more comfortable, and look, it is brand new, so after a bit of wearing it in, it's probably going to work in a bit better. The Eclipse is a bit older, so it is due for a new needle and a nozzle though, but it still performs well enough. Okay, let's add a fresh bit of paper. Do some quick lettering. Bit of a drop shadow. I'll do the same with this. So you can see it does a decent enough heavy line. You sort of have to, if you wanted a really good fine line out of this, you have to pull back a bit further. But, like I said, it's, you know, for the price, you could buy one of these if you just wanted to give airbrushing a go, and it would definitely do all of your weathering textures and playing around with, you know, doing texture effects, that sort of thing. And you can still control it and do shading quite easily. And the trigger is actually quite smooth. But obviously the Eclipse is much nicer to use, but it's also a lot more expensive. The Eclipse just gives you a sharper, finer line, and I mean this, I'm just using the Eclipse at 40 PSI, but you can see how nice that line is. I would actually over thin the paint with the Eclipse, and I'd drop the pressure down, and it would really start to perform. But, you know, it's sort of, well, 10 times the price. So you'd want to hope it performs. So out of the two, there you have it. I mean, price-wise, you know, this one definitely wins. But as far as a cheap, reasonably priced airbrush, this is definitely, you know, nice enough to use. Yes, it won't, you know, it's not going to do what I will do as far as that real sharp, perfect detail, especially if you get all your paint mixes right. And, you know, lasting for years and years and years. I mean, I've had this for quite a few years already, whereas this is brand new. So, I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last, but if you want to just give it a go, have a go of airbrushing, grab something reasonably cheap, then this is definitely better than anything else that I've tried as far as cheap airbrushes are concerned. So look out for it. As I mentioned, I'll have a look. I'll see if I can put it on Amazon. It's definitely worth adding to that, just for people that want to spend you know, not a great deal of money just to give airbrushing a go, and then they can look at buying something like this or a Segola down the track. So hope you enjoyed that video. Just a quick one today, and until next time, feel free to hit subscribe, tap on that bell icon, and that'll notify you every time we put out new content.